Here we go again.
No, that
No,
wasn't. No, not
that's
Chuck
not it.
D. Not Remember, there was
No,
a
but
song.
yeah, but it said "Here we go again" in it, right?
Well, yeah, but the main rhythm or whatever was "Here we go, going through the same thing." You remember that song?
Yeah,
All right, don't
yeah.
don't front like you don't know. I mean,
That's what I said. And then it goes, "Here we go again."
yeah, but you were all out of sync. I mean, anyway,
Mm-mm.
here we go again, folks. Speaking of here we go again, you know whose birthday it is today? Did you see this
Uh,
posted on Facebook?
no, whose birthday is it?
The hard rhymer,
The hard rhymer. I don't. Who's
Chuck
the?
D.
Oh, it is his birthday.
Guess how old he is?
62.
No, he's more like your age, 64. He turned 64 today.
Dang, I am not
60.
64. Wow, I did not know he's that much older than us.
He was born in 1960. He's like my brother's age.
Hey,
1960.
that's
Anyway,
crazy.
we just dove all into that. Who are you again since you got a drink in your hand?
Mm. I am John Lawson.
That's it.
That's all you get. I'm
That's all we
changing
need.
my name.
That's all we need. I'm Brent Leary. And I just like to keep people up to date. As you can see, this is a brand new, never worn before Rams hat. So I'm staying true to my pledge. That was just so ignorant. I'm staying true to
I'm just
my
going to
pledge.
show you how much I care.
That was just messed up, quite frankly.
Let me
Our
try to get another
audience,
one out.
if we
Let me
have
try to
one,
get another one out.
deserves way better than this. I'll just
Then
say that
listening to
much.
you talking about Rams hat.
Than you belching,
Oh my God.
like
So boring, bro. Damn.
I'm just staying true to my my
All right,
pledge.
let's jump into subjects.
Wait a minute, why are you trying to rush me?
Because I don't
I don't
care
think
about your freaking Rams hats.
I don't think I like that.
That is so boring.
I think
This is not going to be a thing with you every week.
people tune in
Because why?
to see what new
Ram hat you have? No.
Yeah.
In your own
People come here, come to my defense.
disillusion and
Anybody, if there is anybody, Gar, are you out here? I know you probably don't want to talk about Bitcoin today because, like,
everything fell apart.
everything. That's why I posed the question.
What's the question?
After what? Several years of people predicting it.
Oh,
is
it's finally here.
Is it the recession or is it the soft landing? Isn't this what they were trying to do? Cool the economy down, but not crush it, so that the inflation will cool off and they can start lowering interest rate. Isn't this what is supposed to, or the hope? Because they still had 114,000 new jobs, right? Oh, everybody cares. Anybody who's got a job or money in the stock market cares.
It wasn't, what was it, 1% correction? I mean, who cares?
No, I said NASDAQ is in full-blown correction mode.
Oh, yeah. Well, NASDAQ that's got a problem.
Did you see what Intel did today?
It cratered.
27% down.
It was at 24 when I first saw it. So, yeah.
27%.
I wonder why.
Well, they had a hideous earnings call. Not only did they miss their estimates, then they lowered their forward-looking third quarter estimates. So they missed their earnings. They missed their earnings. They missed the revenue. They came in lower on their forward-looking quarter. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any worse for them.
That's pretty bad.
And it didn't help that it comes right as the jobs report comes in. I think 70,000 job estimate lower than what actually happened. And but isn't that
did Apple hold on?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Yeah, because they were up like 2 or 3%.
There was, there's a company that I follow that has been down for so long. I just assume that after their earnings, they're going to, especially in this climate, they're going to tank like everybody else. They actually were up today. This company called Twilio, which I found really interesting. But
I like Twilio.
oh, you like Twilio?
I use Twilio. I've used it for years.
I used to go to. I went to their big user conference a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, good. You know, because they bought a. Oh, they have like a contact center solution of sorts. And they have some other interesting. They bought that company SendMail.
No, okay.
They did a lot of stuff, but their profits it just never took off. But they finally had a decent quarter. But I thought they were going to get swallowed up by all the negativity. But they ended up, I think, pretty significant today. I'm trying to fire up.
Yeah, I see Apple. Apple's flat.
Well, that's pretty good compared to.
Oh, I know.
Today.
It's up 1.5.
Michael Flanagan says what goes up comes down and goes up again. But his last part is right. It goes up, comes down, and then goes up. If you get a good quality kind of thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, it'll be all right.
Remember? Look, Cisco. Remember back in the early, late '90s, early 2000s, Cisco was going crazy. And then it came. Yeah. Anyway, then it came down. It hasn't been nearly as at that high. 24 years later, it's still nowhere near what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, the tech is just not there anymore.
Well,
we're not the leaders anymore.
Yeah, but they were the company that kind of built all the infrastructure for all this what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And that's the how do you do?
I mean, it's like you don't have to build it again.
That's like, what have you done for me lately? It's like that old Eddie Murphy. What have you done for me lately? That kind of thing.
I mean,
although that was
let's see, what was the other one I want to check in? What did your darling do?
NVIDIA, I'm sure they were down. I haven't looked. See, on days like this, I don't like the look.
It doesn't matter as long as you're not getting out.
Well, I don't want to have a bad weekend. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like if you're not.
I could look at Intel. I could look at Intel because I don't own them.
It didn't do too bad today.
It hasn't done well. See, they took a haircut. They were at 140 at one point. That was at like their all-time highs around 140.
Oh yeah, they've been killing it. I mean, no, the last I mean, they're over. You're talking about which one? NVIDIA?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still up for the year.
So. Yeah, they're still up. They're nowhere near where they were.
No.
I guess most things aren't in the tech world when you think about it.
No. I mean, what killed me was Amazon.
They've been killing it for a long time, right? This whole year they've been killing it, haven't they?
No.
I thought they were up for the year.
No, they're not. They're down like 2% for the year.
Oh, that's probably recently because
everything. Wait a minute. I'll say for the year they're up 11 or 12%.
Yeah,
but last 6 months
they've been killing it. Oh, they have.
Yeah, the last 6 months they're down 2.2.
Well, I guess since the beginning of the year they were really killing it, and then this last couple of weeks, everything's been.
Yeah, for the month they're down 16%.
Yeah, but I think if you look at most tech stocks, look at Microsoft.
It's time to get into that one.
That's what I think we should be talking about.
I'd be buying Amazon. Let me see Microsoft.
Microsoft is going to be in the same boat. All right. Do I have this?
Okay. For the month, they're down 11%. I think they're still too high.
Oh, that's because you are a hater.
Not really. No, I'm just saying. I mean, they ain't bringing nothing to the game right now. Plus,
they're not bringing anything to the game right now.
What are they? Are you still talking about Copilot? Come on, stop.
They're first of all, it's still Azure, Copilot, ChatGPT, OpenAI partnership. They have a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Now, the one I think is going to be really interesting is Google or whatever they call that.
Well, OpenAI is not public.
No, but they are. Come on, they own what 10% of it. So whatever
they own 49%.
They are right. So there it is, 49%. So you might as well say they're a part of Microsoft at this point. So anything they do,
but I'm saying they're a drag right now.
But everything's a drag right now.
I mean, because they don't make money.
but
AI does not make
AI has
money.
been the thing that has driven this tech market for the last year, at least. Now there's some headwinds apparently that people are, there's something that came out a couple of weeks ago. I forget the report, but it said something to the effect of there's, all this AI talk has been great, but where there's three other letters that we haven't really factored into this as of yet, and it's R, O, and I. And people are starting to wonder or question, yeah, this AI stuff is all great and stuff, but where's the ROI? Where is the return?
That was the stupidest. That was so stupid. They didn't have anything other than a headline.
Nope, that's not true.
Well, prove it.
The estimate is, and you can even talk to somebody. I go to a lot of these tech, conferences.
Wannabes,
no,
wannabes. Everybody wants to be something AI. And
no,
it's like, stop
these
it.
companies
stop it.
All right, if you would stop it and let me talk for a second. These companies are actually
what companies?
The companies that I go to these conferences.
All right, so how do you, in one sentence, say Microsoft's doing great because they got open AI?
Didn't say they were
on
doing
the other
great.
side going to say that, well, AI ain't making money and these companies are worried. Which one is it? Pick a side.
I'm telling you, you can do stuff in AI and not get ROI. I mean, that's the biggest disconnect right now in this whole thing. The hype is here. The actual return on investment hasn't even been seen yet. But people are, I'm going back to my old analogy that all the tin pans and the people who get excited about all the gold rush, they get out there, they don't have a plan. They just think being out there by osmosis, they're going to make a ton of money. And then all they do is lose money because they don't have a real plan of attack. They don't have a strategy. They don't have the use cases identified. They don't have they don't have an actual strategy. I'm just saying in general, companies, and I'm not even talking about the tech companies who get excited by I'll even take it back. Just generally speaking, tell me about the conversation. Wait a minute, hold on just a second. Let me just lay this out and then I'll talk about the conversation.
Okay.
This is not a new trend. This is kind of the way the technology and the adoption of it and the evolution of it happens, particularly in the enterprise world. Some technology, it could be mobile, it could be email, it could be cloud, it could be some things that did not pan out, like metaverse or blockchain. It gets people.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
Hey, have you talked about? Have you heard about that much lately? Anyway, I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm just.
It gets people's attention, and people get hyped up. And a lot of times, the tech never gets the hype, but people pile into it because of the hype. And then when it finally gets to a point where people are like, all right, we've been talking about this a lot lately. Has anybody actually made any money off this stuff yet? And then when the resounding sentiment is no, matter of fact, we've lost our shirt, then people start to peel off and bail off. And this is where I think right now, you got to have that ROI conversation before it gets to the point where the hype and the ROI are so cavernous that there's no way to bring them together, and it falls off before it actually hits the optimal point of like no return. And right now there is not money. I don't know if I've heard a lot of ROI stories from people using AI or Gen AI specifically. I haven't heard really any. I just heard about all the hype and all the things that it could do, and all the people running around saying it's like it's the perfect what's that word? Back in the 1849s, it was the elixir. It's the perfect elixir for everything that ails you. But then when people start taking it and they don't start seeing any real results, it's like, am I actually getting better? I don't feel like I'm getting better. I'm taking the elixir. I don't feel better. And if you take it and you don't get any benefit for so long, you say, is it any good? I'm not taking it anymore. And I think we're starting to get a little bit to that point, because now I'm starting to hear, this is why I bring it back, more conversations about ROI. I was not hearing a lot of conversations about generative AI and ROI for like the first year of this stuff. But this past 5 or 6 months, It has crept into the conversation, and now I think it's not going to creep into the conversation. It's going to steamroll into the conversation, and I'm just interested to see what does that do to all the talk and all the hype and all the this is what it can do, and this is why you should do it now, and don't even think about worrying about what it costs. It'll be you'll benefit in the end. You can't keep that sentiment forever. You got to start seeing some results.
I mean, you're just as bad as the story.
No, I'm not. I'm telling it like it is, buddy.
You're just so full of hype, so full of shit.
I'm not full of hype at all. I'm the one that are fighting the hype.
Okay,
I am fighting the hypesters.
I'd let you yap.
I want to see the money.
ROI, please. On nothing.
ROI, please. I want to see ROI, please.
Okay. Right.
Let's hear some ROI story.
I'm done.
I want to hear.
I'm not going to yell at you.
I want to hear people making some ROI. That's all. Do you have any stories around that?
I have a story of a company that took 9 freaking years to be the top company in the world called Amazon. And that AI has been out for 15 minutes and you read a stupid story and all of a sudden, and mind you, here's how stupid it is to listen to you, is that 6 months ago, you weren't even on the AI train. You thought I was crazy. So now all of a sudden, well, where is the ROI? Well, it's all the promise and all that. Well, whatever, man. You're swaying in the wind. Whatever sounds cool, that's where you're at. But like I said, 8 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, you thought I was crazy for even talking about AI in a business realm. So all of a sudden, where's the ROI?
Gen AI, please. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. You already called me stupid. I never called you stupid. You just called me stupid. You just said it.
Stupid.
You just said it. I never called you stupid.
All right. Well,
I just sat back and let you call me stupid.
I'm gonna claw that one back, barely. Because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
You can't hurt my feelings, but I'm just keeping track. I never called you stupid. Never.
Well, I was just,
although I've been very tempted to do so, but I've never done it.
There you go. And I disagree. I can actually remember. But anyway, I'm saying honestly, really, it's like it's just stupid that less than a year ago you thought this whole thing was bullshit. And I was trying to convince you that it's the next big thing. And then all of a sudden now it's like, well, where's the ROI?
Wait a minute.
Look, I'm just saying, bro.
You said I said that a year and a half ago?
Not even a year and a half ago.
Okay, I agree.
Even a year and a half ago.
It was almost 2. It's almost 2 years ago because this thing started in November of 2022.
Right, but we didn't even start talking about it until a year.
No, we started talking about it January of 2023.
I'm just saying, in terms of like, where is this going?
But okay, so I said it was stupid 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. A lot has happened in a year and a half, hasn't it? I mean,
but I'm saying it's only been a year and a half.
And
it's an emerging technology.
Like, and dog years.
Bro, I'm just saying.
Look,
okay.
I saw the people making the pretty pictures and getting the poems and all. I was not impressed by that. You're right. I did not think that was all that great.
Okay, so what are you impressed by now?
Actually, when I go to companies like ServiceNow and they have these big, huge partnerships and they are putting together actual use cases.
So are they like saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to do that anymore.
No, they're not saying that at all.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody turning their back.
Oh, absolutely. People are getting a little tired.
Name one. Name one.
There are companies, and I don't want to look. I have certain NDA kind of thing that I can't exactly talk about everything I know.
I'm just
saying. Generally speaking, if you can let me just say it.
Well, say it.
There are people who have.
Okay, all right.
I'm done. I am done because I can't say certain things, man.
No, because you don't have any proof.
No, because I can't say certain things. Have you ever heard of an NDA?
You know what? You remind me of one of those candidates that be like, well, people say, and I've heard people saying, it's like, what people? You read one story, one.
All right, I'm really sorry I brought the one story up because you act like my whole existence is based on this one damn story. It's not.
I think it is. It is.
Dude, all right, let me just play some clips here. because I've actually had this conversation about ROI with my man Ron Miller over at TechCrunch. He talks to a lot of companies. I've had it with people that have customers who are
Here's the thing. Let me just put my little 2 cents on this thing. Oh, he gave me the whole window. That's great. Here's the thing, guys. Just understand this, that there's been billions of dollars spent to build just the thing we know of as ChatGPT. It's billions of dollars spent to do that. And none of these other people have spent anywhere near that. And for them to say that Gen AI, they don't even have Gen AI. They've never even made Gen AI. So I don't know what they're talking about, but whatever they think they're not making money on, you probably have to spend some to make some. All right, now you can go. Oh, he's left.
This will make sure you're done. You know,
I'm done. I'm through. I'm over. I'm over it all. So yes, I can't wait to hear about these other people that have built LLMs and it's doing no money for them. Can't wait.
Oh, you'll hear about it.
I'm sure
the frustration is rising, and maybe you just don't talk to the folks that have spent billions of dollars on some of this stuff.
I can't.
I mean, directly talk to them.
Yeah, I can't.
And you talk to their customers and what their customers are asking them, because there are a lot of big companies that are selling this, and their customers
they didn't build it. That's the problem. They didn't build it. They built wrappers around it.
Some of them have actually partnered with some of the companies like NVIDIA and have spent billions of dollars on it already. And do have customers that have been asking them about it and wanting to go through it and wanting to see how it can impact them, and also asking how long will it take us to recruit what we spend.
It's going to take a minute.
It could be up to 10 years. And that's all that article said.
Absolutely.
The article that you just completely trashed that you didn't read. That's exactly what it said.
And I don't think anybody ever said that it was going to like put some money in today and cha-ching, you're going to get paid tomorrow.
No, the hype sometimes the hype doesn't even have to say certain things. The hype makes you think certain things.
Well,
and that's
you need to do your research.
And that has been the case with a lot of technology, like the metaverse.
I don't know about the metaverse. I can't give you, and you can't talk bad about blockchain.
I can, because I remember when people were so hyped up on it.
I know, but I'm just saying
we thought it was going to be the next thing
that are using the blockchain and are doing amazing things because of the blockchain. And
that's like 1/10 of the percentage point of what the whole world.
That's because most people just don't understand what it is.
No, that's because the hype got ahead of the ROI, way ahead. I just hope, and I'm saying this because I think we're not talking about AI generally speaking, because that's been around for 50, 60 years, and it has done a lot of great things while people weren't looking. This is the one instance where the Gen AI form of AI, everybody's looking. And the hype got way, you know what? Gen AI would have been.
I don't know what the hype was. That's what I'm trying to.
Oh my God, you got clowns out there who could barely say AI before. The week after they learned that Gen AI was a thing, all of a sudden they were the king and queen of AI, and they were going to teach you all the tips and tricks so that you can become an AI expert too. And they barely knew how to spell it, and that just mushroomed all over.
I think maybe. The biggest hype probably was that it was going to take everybody's job. And I think probably a lot of investors were hoping that was going to be the case so they could get more money out. And that was going to happen next week. And it didn't happen. And so now they're just a little bit disappointed.
You know what I think? I think that's partially right. And I think when you think of like the kind of the two camps, there's that camp who are like, oh, so we can make money by cutting people's jobs and reaping the rewards. And then and I would say that was where, from a money perspective, that's the vast majority of the financial part of the hype of this. But the word of mouth part of the hype of this is these little guys out here selling the tonic oil, selling the pick. Yeah, can I just get it out? Because I'm saying
I mean,
there are a lot of people the on the
but
lower
they're not.
levels.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
they're
say
not
with the money per people. I said
right. But I'm saying, but that's not the people that the investors were.
I'm not even saying. I just said that's the camp that we just talked about, like you said. But that's they're the money people. They don't talk. So the volume is this. The money is this. But this other camp, it's completely fixed. Flipped over. They have very little money involved, but they hype this stuff up like they want to hype it up because they think that's the way they actually do make the money. They'll never get on this side, but they think by hyping it up and learning how to say it, and Search GPT just came out. There was like this rush to be the expert.
It did just come out.
I know, but
pretty cool.
Yeah, and I saw your video. I think the very first question somebody had, and I'm not gonna. It's like, well, how do I get it? They don't even know what it is yet. They want to get it because then they want to say, I got it, and they can make their videos, and they can say, if you want to learn more for it, you got to come through me. That's the majority of the hype.
Okay, all right, fine.
I'm just saying that's why
I don't think those are that's why you get frustrated, but that's not the conversation. That's not the conversation.
That's part of the conversation.
Okay, let me ask you this: did you post Michael's comment at all?
Which one? He's been going to work here.
Yes, he has. So I just.
What about this one?
One above that.
Okay. So, do you remember when the web was in its infancy, and there was a ton of hype that businesses not investing and getting exposure on the web would be left behind? Very similar with AI.
I think that's.
But I think that's kind of a generalization of a lot of tech cycles we go through. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is just part of the cycle, man.
I think, but as tech cycles evolve and transform over time, their reach is scaled up, and the time period that reach is scaled up is down, and the amount of money that could be won or lost in a smaller time frame is getting bigger and bigger. And I think that's why there's more emphasis starting to get put on. All right, we got really excited about this. We can see some of the absolutely great things this can do. We've started identifying use cases and processes.
Like what though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh my God! If you go to any enterprise conferences where
well, I would love to know what I don't go to those.
Workforce. All right, there's workforce engagement. There's supply chain management. There's all these back office. Wait, I can't detail it out. I'm just saying
that those don't work.
No, I'm saying they are starting to apply use cases where
and they work, right?
I just said they're starting to apply.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It works. I don't understand.
I'm saying they haven't fully put these into to effect. They haven't really gotten any return on investment yet. They have started to identify the areas and the processes and the workflows that AI, not just Gen AI, can really impact things. So now they're starting to build on that. They're not focused on the content creation stuff that gets all the attention. It's these back office things that the general public will never see, and they probably don't want to see. But that's where the meat and potatoes of these big enterprises are starting to say, this is where we could potentially get the ROI that we need from this.
Well, but they haven't gotten there yet. They were going to get it from content generation.
No, but once again, it's the hype is focused on the shiny stuff, the mid journeys, the write me a poem of 300 words, that kind of stuff gets people's attention. But once it drips and dribbles down into the actual, all right, now this is the challenges that we have. How can this stuff really impact these serious issues that we've been trying to solve forever? Right. That's where these companies spent this year really starting to get at. But the ROI has not followed them yet. That's the problem. The ROI has not.
And when you say,
dude, I've gone to like 13 conferences this year.
So 13
seriously, these people have really, from last year to this year, it's been light and day.
Okay.
Last year it was all about, oh yeah, we've got Gen AI. Everybody, don't worry, we got it. Like everybody. This year it's been all right. We've applied it to 30 use cases in the healthcare field. We have connected it up to our platforms,
and it works.
And it's starting to. There's just starting to see.
Okay, it works.
But there's no ROI yet. They haven't got an ROI yet. That's what I've been talking about. It's not about if it works. It should work, but does it work? And I get some actual financial benefit from it, because if it doesn't,
look, if
you're not going to be in business
if you
for
put
long.
it in and it works and it doesn't get you return on investment, is it the thing or is it your plan for the return on
Let me ask you this.
That's broken? I'm just asking you this.
Let me ask you this though. So
it did exactly what it's supposed to do.
No, it didn't, because they don't. If they spent $10 billion and they just finally started figuring out how they can start putting this thing in, and they haven't even pushed the button on going into production with, how do you know if they're going to get their ROI?
Well, what is? I mean, when you
let me ask you about this. Let me just ask you this. The Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said at some conference a couple of weeks ago that Facebook Facebook has 600,000 of their NVIDIA, the high-end AI chips, into their data centers. Do you know how much money that is? Do you think they actually got the ROI from paying NVIDIA 600,000 now?
But that's what I'm saying. Brent,
that's not an ROI story yet.
Brent, I'm just saying. I mean, it makes zero sense that you can say, I'm going to invest $600 million to buy these chips, and I got the chips delivered yesterday, but they're not giving me any ROI. I just don't understand.
I'm telling you, I just laid out that
5 minutes
that extreme case.
You just got here 5 minutes.
But how long will it take them?
Okay,
to
that
get
can maybe that
ROI.
Could be the question.
That is the main question.
Maybe that could be the question.
That's the question people are asking.
That's not the
That's the question. ROI is the question. How long is it going to take us to get our money back?
I don't know.
That is the question.
Well, I tell you what, it ain't 6 goddamn months, so quit tripping.
Well, that's what people. It's been you give it a year and a half. It's almost 2 years of the Gen AI stuff, right? Gen AI has been around since November. You can put a line of delineation in November of 2022 when OpenAI came out with ChatGPT.
I guarantee
the world changed from that point on.
I'll tell you one thing. I guarantee you, Microsoft is not bitching at OpenAI about their return on.
You know why they aren't? Because Microsoft makes $60 billion every quarter.
Okay,
and 21 billion is profit.
If you too broke to actually invest, then
how many companies can operate like Microsoft?
This is emerging technology, bro.
And
if you drop billions of dollars in an emerging technology which hasn't been proven before, then that's your fault. That's my whole point.
How many companies on this planet can afford to do what like 4 companies do? Because they make billions of dollars every quarter, not revenue, profit. So they can afford to do like Google.
Exactly. If you can't afford it, you can't play.
Well, like I said, how many companies on the face of this earth
going to the moon, bro,
can operate like that?
You can't play to go to the moon and pay for it and then expect.
You're making my point, but you don't seem to get that. You are absolutely making my point. Because
the point has been made.
No, because the point is there's only a handful of companies that can afford to operate like that.
Exactly. And so if
everybody else can't,
well, then
they got to be worried about the ROI.
They learned their lesson.
That's the problem.
Well,
that is the problem.
Good lesson.
You try to operate like these folks, you can't do it.
I can't believe they've been in business this long and just learning that lesson. No, that's amazing.
There are lots of companies that that got carried away with this stuff.
Well, that's their problem. That is not AI's fault.
Or the companies that got burned have been like, hey, we're gonna just
ain't nobody get burned. Ain't nobody.
There are companies that have gotten burned.
Well, that's because they gave their money to one of those shysters.
There are a lot of shysters out there.
I'm sure there's a lot of shysters, but
that's shady shysters out there.
The point is and that was my problem with the whole thing. And the question is like, when is AI going to return on investment? It's like, when is dinner ready? When it's ready.
Look, every tech gets to that point. That question gets answered for everything.
That's way too early.
If you talk about email or the web or cloud computing, every one of these gets that question. Well, I don't know, because I think every time you get a new technology revolution, that question comes up sooner and sooner because everything is sped up faster and faster. So
Okay,
that
well,
question
maybe.
does come faster than it did when email
I
was
mean,
written.
hey, I think they gave what was that thing you were talking about? Not Bitcoin, but the other one.
The metaverse,
Yeah,
blockchain.
I think they gave Metaverse more time than this. Jesus.
You know what? The metaverse got more time because of this, because everybody stopped fixating on the metaverse because this Gen AI stuff took over
Oh, that's
everything.
not why. The Metaverse was just
Metaverse, I mean, look, people were going deep into that for whatever reason. I mean, Facebook changed their name to Meta, for crying out loud. I mean, that was a big deal for them. They even, I mean, how but once again, they can
they
get
did, didn't they?
they can get away with doing that
They
because they
did
were
get away
printing
with that.
money.
They did get, and they did, yeah, they did.
So this isn't a new thing, but it's once again, as these technology disruptions come, they hit more people in less time, and the hype sweeps people away. I mean, it just
I
happens.
just don't. Look, man. If you, I just going to tell these companies, if you invested billions into generative AI and it has not returned on investment for you in the last 6 months, you're just too early. Get over yourself. There you go.
This kind of this, not to the scale, of course, but this does remind me of the early days of CRM, where like these companies, these big companies would plunk down millions of dollars on the software, and then like 2 or 3 times, maybe up to 5 times as much as they spent on the software on employing or implementing the software, and they would spend so much money once they got it working and it would work. There's no way they would recoup their money, and
No way. You'd say never.
no way they recoup their money.
Really?
Yeah, so they just wrote it off, like $20 million CRM implementations back in the early 2000s, late 1990s. So that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Those people are the ones that got burned
I
back
just
then.
don't. But I mean, but at least that was something that was. I mean, this is in alpha.
What's hey Amber?
I guess he's
Yeah, that
saying
is
that you're
sad. That is sad.
about the people that
But just
invested
think
all
about
that money.
this. They lost $20 million.
Right.
That the thing that is
I
also
just don't.
scaled
What are
up
you
is the
spending
investment.
$20 billion on? What are people spending $20 billion
Look,
on?
what is can you even tally up how much Facebook spent on 600,000 Nvidia chips for their data centers? I
I
don't even know
mean,
how much that is, but you know
Facebook
it
is
might be $500 billion or something like that.
Facebook's got their own thing going on. I mean, they just put out the fastest model out there right now is the Facebook
What
model.
you know what but
It's
see, once
Llama
again,
3.
they
So
can do it because they make about 10-15 billion dollars a quarter
right,
on.
but they're not trying to throw that money away.
No, but when you have a machine that can not, I'm not talking revenue, I'm talking profit,
Yeah,
that you can get
monthly
10
recurring profit.
10 to 20
Over,
billion
over.
dollars of profit every quarter,
Yeah.
regardless of what you do, and your profit margins are huge because you still run on ads. Your business model is ads. That means that you're probably getting 95% profit margins on some of this nonsense. So you've got the business that can afford to do these things.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Most companies don't.
Y'all need to sit back and wait for these guys to do what they're doing with these huge models, and then it'll be your turn. But not right now. It's too early.
But it's because the hype. People,
because the hype, I just don't know.
The hype has driven lots of smart people to do dumb stuff.
Okay, well, that ain't the first time.
It is not.
That's not the first.
But it's just scaled up now compared to like 10 years ago.
I think everybody wanted to find Gen AI and what AGI. I mean, everybody's
ROI.
on the race, huh? Not ROI. That's the other thing too. ROI was never even in the picture.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
When you start spending your money and you're like, hey, when am I going to get some of this back? That's when ROI gets in the picture.
Yeah, that's a good question, Michael.
So Brent, what is your position? Is AI destined to fail in
Pick a
business?
side.
Nope. See, that's why I'm not picking a side. I think in the long run, and first of all, AI has already succeeded tremendously. AI, the general AI, there's lots of AI that's been around for like 50, 60 years. The emphasis has been on the last 2 years, not even 2 years, generative AI, whenever OpenAI came out with ChatGPT, November of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first AI that is consumer grade for the most part.
Yeah, but there's no
But I'm
business
just
model.
saying
There's
because
no
it's
business model around it, though.
but
That's what I'm
because
saying.
it's consumer grade and because people can use natural language to say something and have an end result come back, the hype scales to a much larger group of audience of people. AI, proper AI, general AI was really only talked about by scientists and geeks. Once OpenAI opened Pandora's box and now the commoner can say, "Oh, I know AI now because I can say some words and get it to come back with something." That's when the hype went off the charts, if you ask me.
Okay,
Now,
but I don't know. I don't know.
oh,
If
I
that's
think
what people no, I don't. I definitely that's cool, but
I'm not even saying it's
for
cool. I'm just saying that's what it is.
okay, so that's what it is. But for businesses to be spending billions of dollars because of that hype, I don't get.
There are certain I don't. It's not the majority, but there are a
Well,
certain.
that story made it sound like Wall Street's wondering where's what Wall Street? Who's invested in anything? That's what I don't get. No, there's no AI company that just popped up on Wall Street. I mean, it's just what is they talking about? God.
The ROI conversation is going to be had,
Okay, they can
and it's
have
going
it.
to be had sooner than later because every tech evolution speeds things up and
What
scales them up.
investment did they make that they need a return on?
All right, so there's actual buying of tech because some companies are either going to, well, I'm not going to go the extreme example where they
No, please
actually,
don't do that.
yeah, I'll just say there's an investment in time, there's an investment in some resources, like
Okay.
there's certain things you need to do if you want to be able to, let's say, access public LLMs at the API level. There are
Mhm.
certain things that you want to have to do to like make sure that your data is safeguarded when you start accessing these public LLMs. And
Mhm.
that is a lot of when you start talking that kind of
See,
stuff.
I get what you're saying there,
Yeah, that's
but
stuff.
I think again it was too early. Yeah,
But
you know what? You know what? You're right. I think one thing was that a lot of businesses got sold into this, and it was all content creation, but they wanted to get some content creation done, but they wanted to protect and wall off their data so that it was, not accessible to the public. And they spent a lot of money doing that. But they wanted to take a ride on a public thing.
yeah, they
And
thought it.
that might and now I can actually see if that money was spent, how they got a little, you know what I'm saying? But that was just too early. It was too early.
But it was driven by hype. That's the fear. What is it?
Uh,
FOMO, fear of missing out.
yeah, Pa. Okay, okay, maybe.
Hey, you know where
I'll
I'm
give you
going back to.
I'll give you oh no, where are you going to go?
Those tin pans were fear of missing out on all
Oh
that
my
gold
God.
was outside.
Okay, here we go again.
But it's the same thing, isn't it?
But somebody, hey, every once in a while somebody has to hit gold for the tin pans to sell.
That's true. But
And so
in the
people are hitting
percentage,
gold
there are,
in this
yeah.
industry at
But
this
when you
time
look
too.
at the percentage of the people who hit gold versus the ones who don't,
It's always going to be disproportionate.
exactly.
And I think maybe everybody thought that they would all get left okay. All right, we'll see.
So in other words,
I'll give you
oh, you give me just that.
I'm gonna give you
You give me this.
because we talked it out and I got some sense of understanding, but not totally because you didn't know what you was talking about to begin with.
Oh, get out of here.
Not,
Jeez. First you give me this and you just take the shit back. And see, you got me cussing on here.
he cursed.
I try to keep it clean. Anyway, so let me ask you, and Michael, if you're still there, and Amber, if you're still there, do you think we are at the beginning of a recession?
Oh,
Have
wait,
we
hold
finally got
on.
there? Have we finally got there?
We've been in a recession.
Oh, we have.
Yeah,
How long have we
right.
been in a recession?
Ever since I started talking about it, and you've been like, "Where's the recession?"
Oh, so we talking
Where's
like
the recession?"
2 years ago? Damn. Okay.
We've
Damn.
I'm gonna claim it right
Dude,
now.
you're like the clock that's right twice every day.
Hey, hey, all right now.
Amber is saying Amber, how long have we been in recession? Because I'll be quite honest, before this last week, or even Wednesday, I looked at my my investment fund. It was at its all-time high.
It was at highs.
So I don't know what, and
but that's not the only indicator.
Look, my annual income has not been affected.
You don't have a salaried income,
but I have a company that makes revenue, so that's the same thing, isn't it?
No,
so that's actually been going very well. I'm almost paid off my house. I don't see this 2-year thing we've been
70 years old. Most of the people.
Your teeth ought to fall out your head on that. All right, so Michael says not a recession, but we have been in a high inflation. You're right. See, that's the way I view it. And they've been trying to bring down inflation without crashing the economy. And it feels like that has been more where we at than we've been fighting to get out of a recession.
Well, and they also did say that they were going to, or they felt like the Fed was going to reduce the interest rate, and then they decided not to make a move. And then on top of that, this came out. And then it's like, whoa, everybody's freaking out.
It feels like
it's the hype again.
It feels like if the Fed had come out
just a quarter
and said, all right, we're going to do a quarter now, and then this hit, I don't think everybody would be a deal. Right. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, me too. And it's like those two things back to back, and it just, these things are so they're such a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes. And I think today's sell-off was one of those.
It feels like if now that this has happened, and they will come out and drop 25 points at least, I guess. But now people are going to say, oh, they're doing it because
no, they need to do a half now.
So if they did a half, that would probably make people feel better.
Yeah. I think if they only did a quarter, then we'd still have a problem in terms of the way
it'll act like all they're doing is playing catch up. Now, if they do 50 points, like you said, now they're saying, okay, maybe now they're trying to get ahead of really staving off. We'll see. I mean, that'll be something to look out for.
It's been increasing every 2 months for 3 to 4 years. Okay. So she's saying that the recession, did you get Amber in there?
Which one?
Her number, it's been increases every 3 months for 3 to 4 years.
I don't know what she's talking about. I
don't know. Increasing. I think the recession. Remember you asked
the recession number has been increasing every 3 months. So you're saying that we've been, Amber, we've been in recession for 4 years. Is that, I don't know exactly what you mean, but I don't see there's any way at all that we've been in recession for 4 years. I mean, can you see that? I know when we went into pandemic, and actually a lot of things took off in the pandemic. Like Amazon, what did they like? They went crazy during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, but it was temporal.
Well, it was bought on by unbelievable circumstance.
Yes,
but we weren't in a recession during the pandemic.
Were we?
Well, they were giving. Well, all right. So a lot of people did lose their job because they couldn't get out and work. Right. But they did give them subsidies.
Gave them money.
It gave them money to stay home, basically.
Yeah. And that's running out.
Yeah,
and that's run out. That has run out.
Yeah. So maybe now we've been averaging like 200,000 jobs created a month. I don't know any recession that does that.
Yeah, but we always talk about jobs creation, but what were the wage numbers? And I think the wage numbers were bad.
They I think at first they were not keeping up with inflation, but this
Mhm.
last report had actual job wage increase above inflation. It was
Yeah.
like 3.4%. Inflation was 3%.
Right.
Inflation
And
is
that's
there's
because inflation came down.
right, but inflation they are trying to get inflation to come in around 2%, I think.
Yeah.
So, and it's been stubborn. It's been staying, it's come down, but it's coming down slow. And so maybe it feels to some people like we've been in a recession, and to them, it is a recession if you put it like that. I mean, you can't knock what people feel,
That's right.
but it's hard to say that the overall economy has been in recession when you see job creation and you see inflation. I mean, unemployment was at one point 3.8%. Now it's up to 4.3. But even historically, that's low. So
Very.
I don't know. I don't think we've been in a recession. Now it's the job of the Fed and everybody else to make sure we don't slide into a full blown recession while you still are trying to bring that inflation number down. But I never felt like we were in a recession. Now we have seen these tech companies over the last couple of years make these mass layoffs, but I think part of that is they did have to retool for this new AI thing, and they wanted to cut the fat.
It's probably
So
because AI took their jobs.
maybe it took some of their jobs. I don't know. Let's see what Michael's saying here. I think next we will see things settle and start moving up again. Powell is going to announce a cut soon, and the shock of the tech misses will fade. That has a chance of being right. I don't know if it will be, but it has a chance, I think. And he says, also find it kind of funny how people can't believe Nvidia dropping like it did with it. What with it is up crazy over the past. Yeah, I know. You
Yeah, I
can't it
know.
can't keep
Yeah,
going
it
up
can't just
forever,
keep
folks.
going up. I mean,
I
hey,
mean, look, I've been following it very closely, and I've been even today, even though it's come down from where it was. If I had to do all over again, hell yeah, I'd buy some more of that. Wish I had bought 1,000 shares. I would have been. I'd be on an island somewhere if I had done that, but I didn't, and I'm not, not
and
worried
I
about
still have to deal with them every week.
it. But I think people got too used to the tech, just and AI was driving it. The stock prices of these companies are just going crazy. When you see a company that's worth already $2 trillion in market cap go up in like a day or two, go up 10%, that shouldn't be happening. I mean, the market cap goes up 10%. That's $200 billion.
And it was all because of AI.
And how many companies have a market cap of $200 billion? Not many. In the grand scheme of it, not many do. So how can we make it feel normal that an Apple, an Amazon, an Nvidia, a Microsoft goes up 10% and that's supposed to like be sustainable? It just can't be.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta change. Topic real quick before we get out of here.
All right, what's up?
So I'm going to ask you this question. This is my question of the day. Have you noticed a lot of construction of either new gas stations or revamping of gas stations near you? Take a look next time you're out.
I seen one
Just one.
in the Stonecrest, but it's like a like that convenience store
Uh,
strip mall kind of thing where it's in there and there's a liquor store and all that. I
I've
seen
got
one.
I've got one going up. One just changed over, like Shell bought it. Then another one going up, and so that's like three within like 1 mile of me.
Right, so what are you speculating on?
And then I go around the corner and there's more and there's more and there's more. And I don't know. But it's very weird that I'm seeing all these new gas stations or gas stations being revamped.
Maybe
It's
is
weird
it
all at the same time.
is it possible that it's because they're putting in power units so that
I've
Tesla
heard.
drivers, finally getting some
I've heard.
infrastructure. Thanks, Michael, by the way. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I've heard that there might be some things going on with that.
That would be
moving
great,
away
I
from-
think. I would think that'd be great.
But it's just like, how many gas stations do I need? Is it really? Something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but it just seems weird to see all these. And then I put it out on my thing, and several people have said, "Yeah, I see it." And I've heard that there might be some regulations about, the tanking and stuff. Then one person said, which I thought, this is interesting. It's like the old pumps only go up to $999, and I'm like, that could very really be it.
Really?
Yeah, if you think about it, they only have 3 digits.
I never thought about that. I never imagined ever needing to buy that much
Right,
gas.
exactly. But there's only 1 digit to the left. If you ever think about it, it only goes up that far. So maybe that is it. I don't know, because everything in prices is going up sky high. I'm sure you need to pump more than $1,000 worth in certain vehicles at this point. But
Man, if it comes to that, if I'm in that position, I need to find me a new vehicle.
I'm riding a bike. I will be pedaling my fat butt down the street. So
anyway, very lively, and we didn't even get into politics.
I'm done with politics.
You done?
I'm done with politics. I decided I am not going to get dragged into this. I was already getting way too deep and emotionally attached, and I'm like, you know what? I need to pull back.
Pulling back.
I'm pulling back.
All right.
Because it's about to get stupid, and I don't want to get into stupid.
It's gonna be hard to stay out of stupid.
It's gonna be hard to stay out of stupid. And I didn't mean to call you stupid. Just got heated.
Yeah, sure you didn't. Anyway, folks, it is heated because it's like 90 something and humid here, and I am ready to relax and chill for the weekend.
All right, relax and chill. I just don't believe it. We don't believe we're here.
We're here.
We're here. Just a few months away. So then we'll be back to normal.
We shall see about that, folks.
Yeah, what's going to be normal now?
I don't know, but I know one thing is normal. We normally end with this. We out.
Peace.